What's up guys, this is Sean and today we are in Residensi Wangsamas. Although it's like Hamilton here, right? But it's actually a RumahWIP adjacent to a normal condo lah. So today is a collaboration with the audience as well. Let's go! Lorry cannot go in, you know. Actually like mover trucks cannot go in one. This is in adjacent to Wangsa Walk. So Wangsa Walk is really walking distance away, and with Wangsa Sri Rampai, and Irama Wangsa is just opposite Avila, Wangsa Maju and stuff like that, right? But this one, the selling point is definitely the walking connection to the LRT station, the Sri Rampai one. Yeah, looks good though. In address it looks really good. So now we are on the way to the LRT station, and although it's connection now, but you look at the So now we are at the link bridge from the building itself straight to Sri Rampai LRT station. Although the connection is not really as convincing, it's like an afterthought kind of thing. But you can see, at least as a connection, our first concern will be this structural items, because this is actually a hill. All structural elements are actually supporting all this, so there's a huge gap here. Then just to cover up, because Malaysians, some cannot take the structural look, so they just cover up all this. Then another surprising thing is that to Hamilton there's a proper entrance to it, but to Residensi Wangsamas, which is the RumahWIP lah, the pedestrian is not friendly at all. I mean, the pathway of pedestrian, right, is quite bad actually. Like 13 units altogether. So on this side it will be more luxurious because it's a single loaded, meaning there's only one side that has units. This side that's actually double loaded, so this corridor will actually be way more intensive. So coming out from the lift, we are now at the lift lobby, and you can see it's rather short, and then there's structural beams that's actually hindering the height itself. One observation is there's no tag for security, so anyone can actually basically come in and out. Even for the guard house itself, when you come into the guard, right, there's no scanning of access card. So I'm quite concerned about the security level currently. So as always, all the utilities will be around the lift lobby area because it's the service core. So yeah, so this is the bilik sampah, right? So at least there's window, there's taps, there's 4 traps. Cool. After the lift lobby, right, you can see this corridor, it's cement rendered, and then there's a drain because apparently heavy rains here lah. So you have the internal voids, and what I'm very surprised is they can actually dress up the internal walls for the void space. How I wish that this one can actually be tiled up, because once you tile up, right, it looks way more different already. So the ceiling height is 2.8, then there's some track. At least they make it tidy lah. Okay guys, coming into the unit, first of all, there's no foyer lah, because they are trying to maximize every inch possible for the unit. And let's go through the specs first. So this is the Type A unit, 800 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, which is very sufficient for a full family itself, and it costs only 198,000. What? For these two audience, right, they got this unit because they were really hardworking. They were catching up with the news every now and then, and once they know that this is up for registration, they immediately chong to the developer's office, right, and register itself. So that's how they got the unit, both of them. Sometimes good deals, right, you gotta really work for it lah. Anyway, so now we are in the entrance area, so you have the kitchen here. Then you can walk out to the yard. The yard is actually tiled up, which is very nice. Then you have the space for your washing machine, so your water inlet here, floor trap here, and your switch. Yeah. So another possibility, here you can actually put up your another solid surface counter, right? To do your heavy cooking here, then you can actually alter this window so you can actually just pass dishes inside. It'll be very good. And one thing, it's very windy here. So there's like 1.5 meters height of tiles to the window, so very minimal tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So it's around 2.1 meters width, and this will be your dining as well as your living room. Let's go check out the view. So this is your view, and you can see there's still a lot of infrastructure work ongoing, right, for this place, and you can see the amount of landscape here, which is very nice. And then you have the neighboring block also. This is only block B, and it's actually 300 over 1,000 for this type because they have a swimming pool. So for this unit, right, there's only the playground here. So why I'm very excited for this episode is it really gives insights to how RumahWIP is and what's the difference between RumahWIP that is 100 over 1,000 or 300 over 1,000, right, versus a 5 to 600,000 open market kind of development. So what's the difference like? So the balconies here have tiles, which is awesome. And that's basically it. So you have 3 bedrooms and 1 toilet. This is the common toilet where you have your basin, your WC, oh, you got tissue holders. So you have your shower, no water heater, no shower screen, and the difference is 1.5 meters tiles. Do you have specs to it? Nope. So opposite the bathroom, there will be these 2 bedrooms where actually share the bathroom. And this one you can see that because it's facing outside, the daylight is so good. But this one is facing the internal corridor, so it's a bit more dark. But if you look at it here, this one will be the cheapest room for rental, if you want to rent it out. Okay, quite a pain of that one. Anyway, let's move on to the next unit. This one is way bigger, right? And this one, you have the window. Actually, still place a bed, wardrobe, and your bedside table, or you want an office table to work and things like that. So your window is at height, so you can still place the table there if you want to. This is one of the main differences between a commercial type of development versus affordable series type. But opposite will then be the master bedroom. So extra bed of window and the width. Okay, let's check out the master bathroom. So you have your tiles halfway through, 1.5 meters, your basin, your WC, your tissue holder, your showers, no shower screen. Okay, but the ceiling height are a bit short because they actually add in a plaster ceiling. Then you have water heater point, which is cool as well. Okay, so what I like is you can see that this roof, right, to prevent water from seeping through. But I think for tilings and defects, right, I think the team checked it before already, so they actually highlighted and all was rectified, so I think it's awesome. What I like is actually the 2 different windows across 2 voids. This is new to me. Very rare I see a window here. Speaking of air wells, right, the void space is actually very nice. You see, it's wide enough, it's long enough that you can actually feel breeze. So I'm now in the facility deck. There's no facility, so there's just the community hall, some open space, some garden and some playground. That's about it for the 198,000 version. So if you want like for swimming pool, it's actually opposite where there's a swimming pool. So a lot of people would think that, hey yo, the swimming pool sometimes I pay, I don't know for what one. So this is the look of an actual unit without swimming pool. But some comments is this feels like a car park lot itself because of the mechanical elements. Let me show you. You look at the mechanical elements in the open area and then the community hall as well. So as I was saying, right, the difference between open market type of development versus this kind of government initiated types are in the details. So number 1 is actually the common areas like the corridor, the facility deck, where in open developments there's a requirement to fulfill where you need community hall, you need gym, you need a kedai rojit space, you need dobi space, you need kindergarten and stuff. That's why all this you lump into the facility deck, and those might sometimes feel extra for people who don't use it, but then in this one they actually strip all those away, so to actually bring down the maintenance cost, because people really just want to stay. And if you look into the unit, the main difference, number one, is the windows to facade ratio. This one is actually very limited because in a construction project, right, one of the most costlier things is actually called aluminium and glazing, which means windows. So it's cheaper to build a brick wall in comparison to a window. The ceiling height is not as high. This one is 2.8 meters only, and in toilet it can be 2.5 because of the drop in ceiling. Then you can see there's no skirting at all because that one extra cost ma. Then you look into the corridor, there's no tiles at all, it's just cement rendered. At least the unit inside the balcony actually got tiles lah. And the entrance statement, it's not as great. You look into open market type, right, they put in a lot of effort in making you feel welcome, or you actually look good when you bring your friends to your developments. But if you look into this one, the logo is also even hidden in the shadows, where the ceiling height, right, lorry cannot fetch things in. Then the pedestrian walkways is not as convenient. So I think that's all for this episode. It's now time for Sean Take 3 on 3. Three things I like. Number one, definitely the location lah. So this location opposite Wangsa Walk, opposite LRT station of Sri Rampai. In road, you're actually 5 minutes away from Duke, 5 minutes away from MRR2. You can actually go NKVE. Then you are in the same way, you just go through Jelate, Setia Wangsa a little bit, and you can reach Jalan Ampang straight to KLCC. Then next, because this area is also very close to TAR College and the MIA, Malaysia Institute of Art, so there's actually quite student driven in this area, so you can still find very affordable food and services and stuff like that. Or if you need more, Wangsa Walk is actually within walking distance. If that's not enough, you can go to Alpha Angle Jasco, you can go to Aeon Big, which is opposite only. If that's not enough, you can go to the Melawati Mall, where you actually Melawati Mall. Number two is definitely the price lah, but then this price is for people who actually work for it. So 198,000, right? And the rental here around, if you look into property portals, is 1,003. If you fully furnish it, it's around 1,006, where it can actually really cover the development. But there's a clause to it. RumahWIP, when you buy, cannot actually sell it after 10 years, but if it's making positive cash flow, why bother, right? Last of all, the unit layout feels okay to me. I'm actually very surprised with the build quality. Like, if you look into the defects, in accordance to the owners, the defect is actually resolved. They actually take out all the hollow tiles and we put them together. But then if you look into the drains, the window sealants, all these straight angles are actually straight. It's not as scary as people think, like, oh, 100 over 1,000 houses cannot stay one, the walls sangat one. Not really lah. So the three bad things I don't like, number one is actually the lack of security. Just like we mentioned, the lack of security is a real concern, right? I don't think that it's a matter of price, like it's difficult to put in a system. I don't think so. Number two, the access to LRT, although it's a good thought, it's a good afterthought. That's why the access to it, right, you need to go through all these structural elements, very dodgy, and at night it's only some pendant floor lights, right? I worry about the safety and the feeling lah, but then sometimes you think about it, having it is better than don't have lah. Third of all is actually the surrounding currently, because the surrounding currently is all infrastructure work, so I see it as a good thing. But in the current times now, maybe 3 to 5 months, right, it's going to be a nightmare for cars. So I think that's all for this episode. Shout out to the two owners, right? Thank you very much, and thank you for showing your unit to actually let people understand what RumahWIP is like. It's not as scary, it's not that bad. But then just that you need to really ballot for it, because all this is actually ballot. So same price, 198, you get the highest floor or lowest floor, up to luck. But you get one unit, I think it's good enough already, and they didn't restrict you in terms that you cannot rent out. If you like this video, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.